I'm ready if you are, Mayor.
I'm ready. Just go ahead.
Okay, you want to call the meeting to order?
I want to call the meeting to order.
All right, do the reading of the OPMA statement on February 5th, 2021. Notice of this meeting was posted to the official Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency website and emailed to both the Carrier Post and Gloucester City News newspapers for publication. The official notice to Borough Clerk was emailed on February 5th, 2021, which included a request for publication of notice to the official Borough Bellmawr website and bulletin board. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. All right, and we'll do the flag salute.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of
The
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands,
One
one
nation.
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
That's the best we've done it yet.
Wow. Yeah. Most important part, right? All right, so that brings us to, we got the flag salute, roll call. Chairman Frank Philippek.
Here.
Vice Chair Steve Haggerty.
Here.
Commissioner Ray Bider.
Here.
Commissioner Nick Kapados. Commissioner Tom Whitman.
Here.
Commissioner Neil Patel. And Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Here.
All right, I just did get a note from Mr. Kapados. He is unable to make it, not feeling that great. So, all right, management professionals, Josh Greer, Executive Director. I am here. Mr. McKenna.
Present.
Ms. Dennis McNulty.
Present.
Yes, yeah, I got you. Okay. All right, so the agenda for this meeting, reading the minutes, communications, all the standard stuff, commissioner reports, executive director reports, solicitor report, new business, public portion, and then adjournment. Reading of the minutes, this was for last month, reorganization meeting, January 19th, 2021.
Make a motion, we do away with the minutes.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
All right. Brings us to communications. We actually did have some communications this month. Provided through the courtesy of Mr. McKenna, our solicitor. He was able to solicit reports, one from the redeveloper side, from the redeveloper council, a monthly status report. And again, that's going to be something that he's going to issue monthly in advance of the meeting. And in the same email that Mike had sent out, there was also a status report from the traffic engineer, Mark Roth of McMahon Associates. Basically, in that memo, just clarifying and confirming that the Creek Road Connector project is still on track, although it got a little bit delayed, but it's still very much on track with the funding secure. So. And I'll let Mike elaborate on that stuff a little further, but those are the communications. Commissioner reports, does anybody have anything? Just chime in if you'd like. All right, bring us to the Executive Director's report summary. With the new year, of course, there's a lot of content that had to be updated just based on, some of the board changes and just things that need to be updated that come with the new year. A lot of that's been done. I'm still tweaking some of that stuff. The required education courses, I had emailed out the course schedule when those are offered and the registration form. So for anybody that hasn't gotten back to me with that, please do so. If you have any questions, let me know and we'll figure it out. And then just, my primary objective right now is just trying to get this audit done, and then we can move into the official intro of the budget for 2021. Any questions for me before I turn it over to Mr. McKenna? All right, your show, Mike.
All right. I guess you will all have received by now and hopefully got something out of my report on the Tidelets meeting that was put together by our mayor. That meeting was preceded by preliminary preparation meetings with Senator Nielsa Cruz Perez, in which she demonstrated to me some real understanding of how the system works. Before we had the meeting to tell her what we wanted, she had already contacted the NJDEP to advise them that she was coming for them, and had already arranged a post, after we prepared with her, a post meeting in which there would be some guidelines sought after and obtained, and she made no uncertain business about it. I didn't know her well, and I was pretty impressed with her. And after another prep session whereby it was determined who would present, it was a fair number of folks. We had this meeting on February 2nd, again put together by our chairman, and it was attended by the entire 5th District legislative team, which made an impression. You could tell even over the phone. When your senator and 2 assemblymen show up for a meeting on behalf of a municipality, a municipal development agency, we put the developer in the back. They didn't really even speak. It wasn't like I was hogging the mic. It was determined that we should put our best foot forward. And instead of a developer presenting, it was the spokesperson for the municipality who represents the citizens. And it went really well. We got from them, we expressed concessions or an understanding of how hard their job was, boo-hoo. But then the message was delivered: you've got to get on the stick. You've had this since a June submission. With a November, we have everything we need. And here it was January, and they were still scratching their heads. I think it was their heads they were scratching, but they weren't getting anything done. And now they're going to get things moving. They've already set and paced the appraisers getting with the appraisers. Why is it so important? Because nothing can happen until the Tidelands title is cleared. The agency will never, I'm not going to let the agency take title without clear title. The park can't get finalized and built. Nothing can happen until we own the land. How's that going to happen? The redeveloper is going to pay whatever it is Tidelands ultimately decides they have to pay. I've heard numbers in the $500,000 phase bandied about. It's not settled till it's settled. It's not our problem, except we don't want them to pay more than they have to, but that's not our problem. Our problem was make the process move along so that we can get the people their park. And candidly, once they're in for $500,000 or whatever it is they're in, the hook is truly set. They're truly forever committed to this project. And they'll set to marketing the project when they know they own it, when they know that they will have paid what they have to pay for the Tidelands. So it was a very important meeting to get it moving along. So I was happy to report on that, not just to the agency here, but to mayor and council. It was attended by Howard Long, but I think Howard's still getting caught up. And there's no real getting caught up in this process because it's multifaceted. There's so many things going on at any given time. And that's why after I got a couple calls, so just to segue into the rest of my talk here, I got a couple calls from council people and our own commissioners with questions. And I liked it because although I didn't know the answers to either sets of questions, Member Bider, for instance, had an issue that was an astute observation. He noticed that there was some new soil out near the entrance. First of all, it looked terrible. And secondly, what are they doing there? I didn't know the answer. So I set about making direct line inquiries. And within maybe a day or two, I had an answer back that it was DOT spoils that the redeveloper had to accommodate them, had allowed them to store. And then my second round of questions, I wanted to make sure they weren't being paid for it, because if they were paid, it should be accounted for. It's part of the till. And I got that message to Ray. I also got another question from Councilman Wilhelm having to do with NJDOT funding having been in jeopardy, kind of a rumor that he wanted to squash. I reached out to Nagowski, Redeveloper Council, who's doing the interfacing as he should. He didn't hear anything about it, but I had our DOT consultant hired by us as well as council. And he gave me a written confirmation that all is in order, and I provided it to you all, that all is in order, funding's in line, The project's on schedule, except for a slight delay having to do with the turnover of the commissioners. That said, I realize that not only should I encourage you all to call me when you have a question, when you hear something, see something, whatever, but I have asked our transportation consultant to give us a quarterly. It would be ridiculous to ask him for a monthly report because of the glacial pace of transportation issues. But you're going to get a quarterly from Roth. You're going to get a monthly from Nagowski. And that's the other item that you have here. You have before you the Nagowski correspondence that I provided, I think, CC to everybody. Other than that, we are working on formalizing the professional service contracts. I've made it my mission not to ever have this agency be responsible, even for anything financially, even to the extent of the professionals, including yours truly, who you hire. All of our contracts say, and I've had to add addendums to each of them because the standard contracts for any professional wouldn't say this. They are to be paid exclusively by escrows established by the redeveloper. Nobody gets caught holding the tab. If the redeveloper comes up with short arms, we can take care of that, but that doesn't put the agency on the hook. So I'm tweaking all of those contracts to provide for that. It seems I have to ask for it every year because it doesn't come back in the formal contracts that they send, and I have to amend. Only then once I get amended signatures, only then can Josh put the notices in the newspaper that we're required to do. I should have that wrapped up this month. I don't have anything else, guys. I don't usually have to talk this much, but status reports will be forthcoming, and they, with that NJDEP meeting, it did bear some discussion. I'm available for questions now, certainly, but if ever somebody like Councilman Bider has a question, I hope you all have my cell phone number, and if you don't, Josh will be happy to give it to you. My email address you all have. Just call me. It's not a problem. Mayor Philippek will tell you he can get me. He can get me day or night.
Mike, I'm not mayor. I'm just Frank Philippek.
Well, it's just like a judge or a senator. You're always going to be a mayor. I don't do that because I'm forgetful. I do that because that's the tradition.
Okay.
But if you want me to knock it off, I'm happy to do so.
Chairman's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Chairman does have a nice ring to it.
Anything from Mike before we cut him loose? All right. That will bring us to new business. So we go resolution number 02:021-21 of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency authorizing account transfer. This is financial driven, so we'll do a roll call as well. Just need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bider.
I'll second it. Tom Whitman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Whitman. We go through a roll call. Chairman Frank Philippek,
Yes.
Vice Chair Steve Haggerty,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Whitman,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Yes.
All right, same thing with the bill list. As always, we do roll call with that as well. Resolution number 02:022-21 of the Bellmawr Redevelopment Agency authorizing payment of outstanding bills.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Is that you, Hags?
Yes.
Okay. All right, do roll call. Chairman Frank Philippek,
Yes.
Vice Chair Steve Haggerty,
Yes.
Commissioner Ray Bider,
Yes.
Commissioner Tom Whitman,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Simpson.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, that does conclude new business, brings us to public portion. I think I see a couple people on here, so we'll give it a couple seconds. Does anybody from the public have anything?
Don't forget to unmute.
Yep. Good point, Mike. Give you another couple seconds to unmute if you'd like. If not, we will progress. All right, we'll close the public portion. That's all business that we have on the agenda tonight, so it brings us to an adjournment. Just need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. I want to thank everybody
Aye.
for coming too.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Just for next month, we're back to our regular schedule, third Monday of the month, Monday, March 15th, 5 p.m. See you there.